Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're here this morning. Got a big show lined up. A special guest that's been with us before, but hadn't been with us in a good while because he's been so busy. So we're going to be visiting with him. But first, let's take a look at our weather. Looking at a high today of 72, low of 59. Water temperature is between 64 and 65. This is the time of year it moves up a little bit. I do not have the river readings this morning. You can go online and look at them, or we'll get them back to you pretty soon. And we're going to start giving some Chipotle River readings too pretty soon. So our tide chart, we do have it. We don't have much to talk about. The neap tides, not much movement looking at today, and just not much movement. Today's the 16th, and we're good Saturday. Saturday's going to be some good tides on March the 20th, which is also officially the first day of spring. Very special day in our lives, and it's just really Saturday's going to be a good day of being on the water. So we've got some good tides coming up Saturday. Not much tide today or tomorrow. And we're looking at the wind to be coming in from southeast at about 7 to 8. All right, let's go and take a break real quick, and we'll be right back with our guest. Welcome back, and welcome to a long-lost friend of ours, Victor Hasco.
Good pleasure to be here, Coach.
Good to have you back, buddy. I'm part of the Panhandle Outdoors team, but I wanted Victor to come on because he's like every one of us, and you watching the show, you know what I'm talking about. You love the outdoors, and then something happens. You get busy at work, you get busy doing stuff, and I remember when I was coaching football, that'd be the least productive outdoor time I'd ever have. And then after the season, I'd head up the woods. So y'all know what I'm talking about.
Well, ever since this COVID craziness, everything that we used to do, we don't do. Everything we understood how to do anything, we don't do it that way anymore. And everybody these days is needing something done. Between the regular construction work going on, which is booming, I can't believe how many apartments they're building here and in South Walton where I live. And it's just staggering how many construction people are down here.
Well, that's something I was going to talk to you about. I know here in Bay County what's going on in South Walton. It's booming too.
Yeah. You know, the stuff along the coast is always going because there's somebody always finding a little corner to build one on. But now it's the second stage of that is the land in and around 98 and all the major arteries. We're coming in with big apartment buildings and complexes. It's not one building, it's 5 and 6. And it's understandable. Everybody wants to live at the beach. I do too, you know. But there's a tremendous amount of building going on.
That's funny. Now, you're in electrical contracting business, and how big is your company? I'll sort of spread.
Yeah. We're a big company. I like to say I run the little sister branch of a big company. Yeah. But we do what we do, you know, and have been for a long time. We've been here 25 years. So.
Awesome. And, talking about the construction and all, it always has, the downside of it is always get more people here. Then the downside is the traffic.
It's always the traffic.
And I know over there in South Walton, y'all have a problem. But someone was telling me the other day, we were having breakfast with some guys, and this guy, he brought up, talking about just here in Panama City traffic. I know you work a lot in here. Yeah. And he said, you know what, I think Panama City is like a little Orlando as far as traffic. And that just stuck with me. And then after he said that last week, I started looking around. It sort of is. All kinds of, so we're becoming little Orlando. We're not big Orlando.
Yeah, but it's funny because we have friends from different places, like everybody. Everybody's from somewhere else, but they live here now. And we talk about traffic, and they laugh, and it's like, you don't have any idea what traffic is really like. And I don't want to know either.
That's true. So in all this work and all, we sort of cut back on the outdoor activities.
Well, we don't know who to call. With the COVID, there's different levels of exposure people are willing to take, and you call, you don't know whether to call. Can I come over? Should we go fishing? Is being in a boat okay? My fishing buddy and his wife is an at-risk person, so he has to be cautious. Yeah. So then I never like fishing by myself. Yeah. I just, it's the social aspect of that really brings me back to it. So fishing by myself, I'll go and do that much, but not very much.
Yeah. Well, starting, have you been seeing some people, some of your buddies and all, are they starting to catch stuff? And you're
We're starting to. We're seeing a lot of things there. I'm a little bit in the dark. After the new year, I went dark on Facebook, and
yeah, I saw that. Yeah, you disappeared.
I did that. I had gotten into some bad eating habits, and I'd put on more than just a winter coat. So for 2 months, I haven't been on Facebook. I just started back. I lost 20 pounds, so that was good.
You look great.
And we kind of got everything reset like it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
We were back up in Alabama. My dad said, well, you kind of look like you now. So I took that as a good thing.
What part of Alabama?
North Alabama, between Birmingham and Huntsville, a little place called Coleman.
Oh yeah, we talked about that before.
Yeah.
Hank Williams up there one time,
Yeah.
and J.R. Smith, and I saw J.R. Smith. I think sold his fish camp down at Howard Creek. I saw it for sale the other day. He had a nice place at Howard Creek. So anyway, get back to your mom and dad.
Yep.
We got pictures. We're going to show you mom and dad here, and now, what's their ages?
They were 85 last year in October.
Yeah.
October and December. And this is Mom. We decided this year we would celebrate them a little bit. They reached 85, and you know, it's a little bit of a milestone and something to really shake them up. They get where they don't go very far or do anything. And so we celebrated, put Mom in a feather bowl with the world's greatest mom on it.
Oh, cool.
Now, when this happened in October, my dad, he said, well, that's nice and everything, but y'all don't do that for me, okay?
Right.
And I was like, well, okay, Dad, are you really sure you don't want us to do anything like that? We were really hoping to do something. So to be simple, we just got him a crown and a scepter and a World's Greatest Dad t-shirt.
I like
and
that.
You can see from the expression on his face, he's really hurting about it. You know, he's really upset about it.
Y'all don't do this, but I'm glad y'all did.
This is kind of fun after all.
Yeah.
So we celebrated. We had a lady made a cake for Dad. He's been gardening since he was 3 years old.
Oh, wow.
So now he's down to just 3 or 4 tomato plants, you know. He has to take his folding chair out to the garden to sit and hoe, you know.
That's cool, though. He's still doing that.
He loves to do it. So this year we had the cake was made, and it looked like a small farm, a little small garden, and had little raised beds in it, and little lettuces and carrots and all this kind of thing. It was really cool. It was very good.
That is so neat. Now, you brothers and sisters, how many's in you?
I have 3 sisters.
Okay.
And 2 of them are still in Coleman.
Okay.
And one was recently in Ruidoso, New Mexico. She's the oldest. She likes to travel. She was the daring one.
Yeah.
So she moved to Las Vegas. So, you know, strictly just to see our sister, the other 3 of us went out to Las Vegas last October and spent a little time with her and saw her new house and all that.
Wow, that is neat to have somebody you know in Las Vegas, so you can go some other places too, and not have to pay the big hotel bill.
Yeah, we had a little bit of time to sightsee, and my youngest sister and I are both drag race fans.
Okay.
So the drag race was there at Halloween, so we went, spent the better part of 3 days over there at the drag strip, watching the cars scream and feeling the earth shake and all that.
Oh man, I've seen that. Listen, we're going to take a break. We got all kind of cool pictures from this trip out there, and then we're going to talk about some fishing. So we'll be right back. Welcome back. See, we're Victor Hathcote, who's an avid outdoorsman, but he's been working and traveling. So, like so many of us, he's going to get back into it soon.
Absolutely, I can't wait.
I know you are, and the pandemic really has hit us hard as far as doing a lot of things,
It really has. It just changed everything.
Yeah.
Luckily, a lot of my friends are kind of old, so they're in the vaccine crowd. So I'm hoping that very soon we'll start normalizing our friendships like we all want to.
I tell Gail, I see somebody say, "Look how old he looks," and she said, "Winston, you went to school with him." I said, "Oh."
We were at a wedding this past weekend. He's always been referred to as my godson, but a young man I've known forever got married. And they had a few chairs set up. We were at Eden State Park, and they had just a few chairs set on either side, but nobody was sitting in them. So there were 6 of us sitting around, and it was like, well, somebody needs to sit in those chairs, for the photographer was wanting people in the seats. And it's like, we'll just let the old people by. And we looked around, we were the old people.
I know.
I wasn't really ready for that.
Okay, so here we go. So you tell your sister to move to Las Vegas so y'all can all go visit her. So she moves out to Las Vegas, and
Yep.
so what happens?
Well, we go out there, and the first day, her husband says, would y'all like to go see Hoover Dam? I was like, yeah, I mean, he said, it's a couple hours, it's not bad though. So we went to Hoover Dam. I'd never been to Nevada at all.
Well, the Hoover Dam is on my bucket list, so I'm tickled for you. So tell me about it.
Well, the scenery out there is very different than Florida scenery. If you like green, don't go there in the summertime. Everything's brown. It's rock and gravel, and the pictures show just that. It's beautiful in its own way, but it's just very different than Florida is. And the Hoover Dam, of course, is massive. They said at the base of the dam, the concrete is 600 feet thick.
Holy cow.
So I was pretty impressive for me. Anyway, and just the grasp of it all. I mean, they made such a huge monument, you could almost call it, but it was utilitarian. It was for a purpose, but they've decorated it tremendously with huge statues everywhere, and the base of it there, and the look. You can look right off the edge if you want to. Some people don't want to. But it holds Lake Mead, which is when Lake Mead is full, is the largest reservoir in the United States.
Wow.
And of course they need it because that's drinking water for Las Vegas, and there isn't any other rivers or anything out there. But Lake Mead is amazing. It's again a very different kind of lake. You look off the side there, and it's like a very dark green, and that's just the way the water is. I don't think, from what we saw, there wasn't any algae or anything causing that. It wasn't like June grass.
Yeah.
Not like that.
Well, listen, let me go ahead and ask you this. And the first thing I see lake, I see water, I think fish.
Yeah.
Are there any fishing out there in that area?
You can fish in Lake Mead, but
I mean, it's got to be deep.
it's very deep. Yeah. So it would be challenging.
So if I go out there, do I need to take my pole?
I tell you what, do the other side. Go on the outflow.
Okay.
The outflow, of course, they let the water through there to create energy and fuel Las Vegas and all that. Then the outflow is right behind it. There is much more narrow and presumably more shallow than the lake itself.
So you're fishing behind. You can fish back there behind it.
I think you can fish both sides of it. But
cool.
And of course I could probably be totally wrong on that, but anyway. And we went to the dragon race while we were out there. It's not for everyone, but my sister and I love to watch it.
I will say this: I've been around a few of those, and just the engine, the power of an engine, and how, like you say, vibrates everything.
Yeah. You feel it right there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
11,000 horsepower.
Holy cow!
That's big enough to drive a boat, I guess. Yeah. So nowadays we put 4 or 5. Well, you can't get to 11,000, but you get up there with the boats nowadays.
Yeah.
So we spent 2 or 3 days out there, and I knew when I was going through the things, this was something that I had to bring here to the show because I knew you would like it so well. We walked through the Bellagio Hotel Casino, and everything in that lobby that we went was like Macy's Parade, where they decorate all the floats and they're all made with flowers. Everything was flowers, and it was huge. And in with that, they had no doubt 3 of the biggest pumpkins I've ever seen in my life. And they were 428 pounds. And
428 pounds, that's a lot of pies.
How about 702 pounds?
Holy cow.
And there was another one in here. And it was 586 pounds.
They were inside the lobby?
They were inside. They were sitting there, and there was so much decorations, so many decorations out there, they kind of blended in. You didn't even, I mean, when you see a giant bear made out of flowers.
Oh my goodness. You know, on the pumpkin, I think about Starbucks getting that pumpkin latte or whatever
Oh,
they
yeah,
make. They
yeah.
make a lot of those cups of coffee.
I'll tell you, we'd have every millennial
That's true.
ready to go.
They can auction it off. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with Victor. Welcome back. Sitting here with a Panhandle Outdoors team member, Victor Hathcote. He's hosted the show before and done well, but he sort of slacked off and sort of took a leave of absence. But now he's back on the team. Let's take a look at our fishing game time today, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers in Port St. Joe. Our times, 1:58 to 3:58 this morning, and this evening, 2:18 to 4:18. So that's going to be a good time to go. Weather's been really good lately. Let's get real quick before we finish that. We're talking about the Hoover Dam. What an engineer marvel.
Yeah, tremendous.
And the equipment they had back in the day.
You think of the technology they had. I mean, it was just after the turn of the century, really. Yeah. And they were probably steam shovels, you know, but how they did the drilling and blasting and all of that stuff, it wouldn't be nearly as much work today, I'll tell you that much.
I was always intrigued, even as a kid, when I first heard about it. There were people trying to tell me how big it was, and they showed us pictures and all. I just could not envision it. A building in those days and all. There's a lot of manual labor.
Tremendous amount. Yeah. And it was so integral to Las Vegas even being able to be a city. Yeah. Because you got to have water and you have to have power. Yeah. They're out in the middle, or they were, especially when this all started and everything. You know, and it provided both.
Now, but you know what? With solar, we're talking about solar power and all coming up. That's going to be an ideal place for solar power. They might just take the Hoover Dam down. Who knows?
You never know.
You never know.
I saw the thing you had a show the other day where they were taking the dams down.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? The Pacific Northwest, they're taking them down. It's interesting. It's just amazing. All right, what else? You're out here. You're in the middle. This is.
We walked. My sister and her husband. They wanted to make sure we saw the fountains at the Bellagio. They're orchestrated to music and everything, and it's a very impressive thing to see when you're out there. Mm-hmm. I mean, hundreds of jets shooting.
That's all to music.
Hundreds of feet in the air, wow. all you know, orchestrated with music. The architecture out there, of course. Vegas is known as the city of glitter and glamour and all that stuff, and the architecture follows right along with it. All the buildings are big and impressive and well lit, you know, all to attract the customers.
I know the SHOT Show is out there. The guns and the ammunition. They started having a SHOT show out there, and also ICAST would alternate between Orlando and Las Vegas. So I've gone to Orlando once, so if they next time they have one in Las Vegas, I'm going to go out there, I think.
Yeah, you would think if ICAST is there must be some good fishing out there somewhere.
Well, you better believe it. And they want to entertain everybody and all. So that's interesting. So what else you got?
A couple of other pictures. You walk through these gardens. I guess it's just basically a walkway to get you from one building to the other, but they don't do just walkways. So everything looks like a Roman pantheon of there's Poseidon, I think, or whoever, and all the statues and everything are it's phenomenal to see. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm not really a big city guy, you know. Yeah. I'm not much of a city guy at all, frankly, but you ought to see it one time.
One time, you need to see it.
You need to see it one time.
A lot of y'all have been out there, I know. I've always heard good reports now. All right, now let's get back down to earth. Let's get back down to real life as far as your outdoor activities coming up. So what you got coming up here?
Well, I want this year, or it may be a bucket list for me by the time I get it done, but when the Spanish come, I want to catch some Spanish.
Okay.
When the pompano run, I want to catch some pompanos. After that, I want to focus on some reds and some trouts. But as the seasons come in, and you've done a show about every month there's always something going on, I would like to follow that. I don't know if I'll be able to work in a cobia, you know, but I would really like to, you know, go when everybody else is going and see how that is.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I've caught Spanish before, of course, and I've caught pompano and everything, but I want to go when it's really good. Most of the time I have to go just when I can.
I know, so many of us have been like that, and then you retire, you think you can do that, but then all kind of things come up and all. But
is that
you
right?
start doing a TV show.
I'm already pre-planning my retirement. Yeah. I'm laying the groundwork. And I'm hoping that what you just said isn't the case for me.
Well, I hope it is too for you, and it's individual too. So anyway, we getting back to the runs and everything, that has been so phenomenal to follow that pattern. And like I say, Spanish coming in, but really, a long time ago, the old timers always said this, yeah, when you go fishing, and they always say, you go fishing when they're biting. Same way with freshwater, with the brim and, and the bass on bed. And the bass fishing has been phenomenal the last 2 weeks and all, going into this full moon. So that's exactly what we're talking about. All the time, you go when they're biting, and then nature has this pattern. Yeah. And we see it year after year. And there's some fluctuations, from that pattern, but mainly that pattern sticks with it.
Right.
Now, I'm interested to see on cobia this year.
Right.
I'm beginning to see, and I've talked to the captains and all, they're not seeing quite as many cobia as they have been seeing the last couple of years. But there's going to be more people fishing for them this year. Last year, not many people fished for them. But this year, the cobia fishing, it's going to be interesting to see how it turns out. So
that would be the one upside to this whole COVID mess, is that there's been less pressure on the fish and hunting, for that matter, that maybe give them time to regroup a little bit.
Well, you're our eyes and ears over there in Santa Rosa Beach and South Walton. There's we got a lot of viewers over there in South Walton.
Yeah.
And
we got a lot of outdoorsmen over there. I know that.
I know it. I hear from them all the time. The big thing is, do y'all have access to go down on the beach and fish? Y'all got some beach fishing areas? Some.
If you go early.
You go early.
Well, last year I went at 5:30 to go set up some chairs. We had some company coming in.
Yeah.
I didn't get the front row.
At 5:30?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Of course, now with South Walton's mess with the beach, we're still going to have to resolve that customer use thing. That's going to have to happen.
That's another show. That's something. I know there's some good fishing over there. I know that. Yeah. And the Destin jetties in that area, that's all good. We're going to run out of time.
We just started, it seemed like.
I know it. And we're so glad to get you back to reality. So, I've talked to him off and on, but he got off Facebook and all. Yeah. You look great.
Well, thank you. I feel better, too.
Do you?
Yeah, well, you think you carry around 20 extra pounds with you. That's no good. So.
Well, good luck to you, and keep us posted.
I'll do my best.
And I appreciate you coming on.
Very good. Glad to be here.
Oh, we got to shake hands. That's right. Okay. We can do that. We got to get that straight. Thank y'all so much for watching Panhandle Outdoors. This is us, and we just enjoy doing what we do. So you have a great day. Do something good today for fellow man, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.